The Seattle Seahawks came into Atlanta and beat my Atlanta Falcons real bad, and now they get to host the Indianapolis Colts, who just lost their starting quarterback for the year. My name's Tyler, here with my brother Ryan. We're going to break down this Week 15 matchup with major playoff implications and provide our predictions at the end. So be sure to stay tuned, leave a comment, and while you're at it, hit that subscribe button, get notified when new videos come out. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Let's see if we can make that possible. And Ryan, we'll start with the Indianapolis Colts. Unfortunately, it has been confirmed that Daniel Jones is going under season-ending surgery for his torn Achilles that he suffered in today's loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Just super sad. It's neat to see his kind of career resurgence here, potentially see what he could end up doing in Indianapolis. They had started to teeter pretty badly over these past couple of weeks, and they were looking to turn things around, and then this happened. And he had the fractured in his leg that he was playing through, and really tough. So we're wishing you nothing but the best, Daniel Jones, and coming back here. And so when it comes into this game here as well, I say all that. The Seahawks team is really good.
Oh
Even
yeah.
to if none of that stuff happened there, I think the Seahawks team, this Colts defense has been struggling a little bit as well too, giving up a lot of yards, a lot of points. And the Seahawks team on the flip side, though, defensively have not been doing that as well here. They go and dominate my Atlanta Falcons. Not That's not saying too much, but I would say in general though, they have been dominating most of their teams. One of the better defenses in the league. As we look and sit here, Ryan, they are third in total yards allowed, 11th in passing yards allowed, second in rushing yards allowed as well too, and they have 46 sacks on the season. Depending on who the quarterback is, I know
Yeah.
Riley Leonard came in. I'm pretty sure he's going to be the guy moving forward. I don't believe Anthony Richardson's coming back anytime soon. I could be wrong on that though. What do you think the Colts need to do to try and go into Seattle, keep their playoff hopes alive?
I mean, control the football, try to run the ball as much as you can, make Riley Leonard's reads as easy as possible. That's going to be the biggest thing for me. And one thing too, and this may sound a little contradictory, but I think if I fully explain it, I do think it's really important for them to run the football. But if you get into true passing downs, I want them to kind of spread things out, go five wide, kind of run things similar to like a college offense. But that's going to do a couple things, I think, for Riley Leonard. One, it's going to make the offense a little bit easier to digest being a rookie if you run something a little bit more college like. But then also too, if you spread things out, it's going to kind of declutter the picture. It's not going to allow Seattle to, line up a bunch of guys at the line of scrimmage and do things like that. Because if you spread out your offense, this defense has to spread out too. That means those coverage rotations, it's harder for them to actually get to spots if they're rotating. And it could also lead to, more coverage lapses on the defensive side of the ball. So I don't want them to come in here and like start throwing the ball 35 times. I think that's a horrible game plan. But if you get yourself in third and long, I think it's really important to make it as easy as possible on Riley Leonard in those situations. And I think that that's something that could help. Also, you have a good tight end in Tyler Warren. He's going to be, I think, a big piece and a nice safety blanket for Riley Leonard to rely on if I'm the Colts. And if I'm Seattle, I'm trying to shut down Jonathan Taylor and put as much pressure as I can on Riley Leonard to be the one to, beat us in this game. So that for me, I think it's a really simple game plan for the Seahawks. And then also too, I think you look this defense, they gave up a lot of yards to Trevor Lawrence in this offense today. Granted, they were on the field a ton. So that's not really a fair comparison. But if Sam Darnold wants to come out here and throw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, I think he definitely could in this matchup, especially with how well Seattle's offense has been playing too.
Yeah, that's I think that's going to be the thing here too with JSN and just what he's done like for this team this year as a whole. One of the top receivers statistically this year, and what even end up having today: 7 catches, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's a mediocre game for JSN against my Atlanta Falcons. But yeah, I think that's the thing that's going to be the area. It is how can this Colts defense actually step up here as well. So we talked about the Seattle Seahawks defensive numbers. Colts defensive numbers: 22nd in yards allowed, 30th in passing yards allowed, 6th in rushing yards allowed. I think they do have a good front seven. I think they do have a good run defense. I think part of that number is skewed a little bit just because of Well, earlier in the year, to be fair, they were leading a lot, so teams are passing more against them. But then also too lately, though, their pass defense has been so porous that
Yeah.
one is why they traded for Sauce Gardner. I like that trade. It's unfortunate that he got hurt and he's going to be out for a little bit, and it's unfortunate that Daniel Jones now is done for the year as well too. So these injuries are just piling up as well. But I think even too before that, there were some areas for concern in this pass defense where I think Sam Darnold and company are going to be able to expose them. And this run team as well. The Seahawks has a good run team as well too. Much improvement on the offensive line thanks to the addition of Gray Zabel as well. And so you're seeing that in their overall numbers. They're 10th overall in their rushing offense. So they're a very balanced team over actually very balanced. Ninth in passing yards, 10th in rushing yards. So the Seahawks team is very balanced. The defense is really good. Going up to Seattle is a very tough place to go and play. I agree with you. Like with Riley Leonard, it spread things out. But at the same time, though, too, just to counter that, if you're going to spread it out, like have it be quick passes, like bubble
Yeah. Yeah.
screens,
Yeah.
quick slants. Like I don't think you should be giving Riley Leonard like all of a sudden, hey, here are 5 reads that you got to go and do, and you got to read the defense, and you got to have the pocket awareness against the Seattle Seahawks defense.
Yeah.
That's not going to go over well at all. I honestly think what they might try and do is see like kind of maybe what the Browns were doing with Dylan Gabriel is like how can we methodically work our way down the field and make
Yeah.
dunk passes and but make it very easy though. It's like no, you got 1 or 2 reads and then try and run it or throw the ball away.
Yeah.
Um, because if you get him overthinking and have him to read the defenses here as well, it's not like college though where it's like hey like see if they can uh move coverages or whatnot, like typical an average college defense.
Yeah.
Typically, it's like which side's blitzing, and then they're in a zone. Like that's pretty much it. Or are they in man? You can figure it out pretty well. Seahawks defense much more complex, and they're able to stick with it. They're pros, and
Yeah.
so the biggest thing to me, I think, is can Indianapolis defense somehow contain the Seahawks offense? And at the same time, too, when the Colts have the ball, can they keep that offense on the sideline and then try and wear down this defense? I personally don't think that they're going to be able to do that, and it's not even too just because of Daniel Jones being out. I think that is a that this was something that was coming after you've seen them perform over the past couple of weeks. This is just going to be a tough game for them and a tough road ahead if they want to make the playoffs. As we're now recording this after the Sunday night football game, and they are officially now on the outside looking in.
Yeah. Which is a tough pill to swallow considering I think 2 or 3 weeks ago you were the number one seed in the AFC.
Yep.
Uh, and so just to kind of jump into predictions here, if you can't already tell, I think we're going with Seattle. Or I'm going with Seattle. This Colts team is super banged up at the moment. I don't think
Yeah, me
Sauce
too.
Gardner will be back at this point. And so yeah, there's not a lot. I think Jonathan Taylor is still heavily in the uh, conversation, like for best running back in the league. Is this one of the best run games in the league as a whole? I think you could make the case, but I think part of the reason why they were so good was because Daniel Jones and this offense were clicking on all cylinders in the passing game, and they were really stressing teams in all areas of the field, and it was allowing this offensive line to open up some massive lanes for Jonathan Taylor to run through. And I don't think they'll be able to do that now with Daniel Jones hurt and this passing game kind of slowing a little bit.
Yeah, and also too on top of that, if I'm not mistaken, Braden Smith he left the game with a concussion as well, so I had to monitor
Yeah.
his status here. But yeah, for the Colts, path moving ahead because the Seahawks to me, I mean, they're borderline locks. If we're talking about Seattle here, I mean, they're 10-3. How wild would it be if this Sam Darnold has the second best record in his conference 2 years in a row, but doesn't win the division, just with how good
Yeah.
the Rams are as well. Now they're both 10-3, and they both have a game they're playing week 16. That's going to be a major game. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, that bell to get notified when that preview comes out. But here though, I mean, I guess they're only the Seahawks are only a game up on San Francisco at 9-4, and the Bears are that are at 9-4. But even to then, the Lions are 8-5 as well, so they have 2 games up here. So if they win this one, they go to 11-3. They're they're pretty much a lock for the playoffs here. They do have 3 tough games left after this one. Host the Rams Thursday Night Football, as I said. Then at Carolina, at San Francisco, both winnable games. Uh, um, All three of them are winnable games. The Seahawks could go 14-3 on the way in, but still with some tough schedules here. But for Indianapolis, though, they're going to need some help. They do play both Jacksonville and Houston. And Houston's road is actually relatively easy. They are hosting the Cardinals here this week, hosting the Raiders. Then they are at the Los Angeles Chargers in Week 17, which is a wild card matchup. But then they are hosting the Colts in Week 18. So Colts have some opportunities to still win some games here, but they're probably not going to be favored moving forward.
Yeah, no, that's it's a tough pill to swallow for the Colts, and we were talking about it before. And obviously, you can't look at things this way, but with how the season played out for the Colts, it's like they make that Sauce Gardner trade, they give up 2 first-round picks, knowing that they need to kind of gear up for this tough stretch here, but that they're one of the best teams in the AFC. They should be winning. Like they were clearly in the driver's seat in the division. And it's like now you look at all the injuries that have kind of piled up for them. They've gone on a bit of a losing streak, and it's like now they went from potentially the number 1 seed to outside looking in. And they don't have their next 2 first-round picks, which is that's a tough pill to swallow. I don't think it was a bad move for them to go get Sauce Gardner. It's just, as you know, Jim Carrey would say, sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles. So
great movie.
Oh yeah, fantastic. But with that said, let's go ahead. Let's wrap up this video here. We are both taking the Seahawks in this cross-conference battle. If you haven't already, please go ahead and leave a comment and like and subscribe. That is the best way to help out the channel. And other than that, we'll see you guys next time.